All right, welcome everyone. I hope that you all are doing well. It is Wednesday, happy hump day. And today we are going to be talking about resident retention, but from a different take, because in this time now that we're practicing, social distancing and isolation to some extent, we have to think of new ways to connect and to reach out to our residents and keep that community. So this is going to be a day that I want you all to put your thinking caps on as well, because as a company, this is where we can really come together and share ideas and thoughts or things that you've already done on your sites that would be beneficial to all of us so that we can kind of spread this virtual love. And yes, Thomas, there you go. We really want to see your participation, and the chat box is open. As you can see, Thomas just chatted. Tiffany is going to field all of the chats that are coming in, and we want you at any point in time to put in your ideas or your comments or anything that you've done that was successful that you want to share. Please put it in the chat box so we can get it out to everybody. This is super important, and those of you all that have taken my Leasing 101 class with me know that, to me, a renewal and resident retention is so much more important than a new lease. And now more than ever is that time to show the residents that we are here for them and that we want to keep that sense of community and that cohesion and that connection going, even if it needs to be virtually. It will speak volumes when it comes time for them to renew, because they'll remember what their property did for all the residents during this time. And just so you know, I mean, this is not something that we're just thinking of doing, that it is a nationwide campaign, as you can see on this screen from National Apartment Association. They put this out on their website, and I just want to read the quote. Now more than ever, apartment owners and operators, have a real opportunity to make a difference in how we respond to these challenges by moving resident events and communication online to further engage residents in a different manner. Allowing residents to see continued effort is key to satisfaction. Apartment professionals can provide value while also helping people to feel connected and combat loneliness and depression in the weeks and months to come. That's from the National Apartment Association. So that should give you an idea of how super important this piece of your leasing world is, to keep the residents connected. And you will see how far it goes. Now, I'm not saying that you all have to inundate them and completely clutter their social media or any, notices that they might get with tons of events or games or whatever. You have to make it fit for your demographic. It's got to fit for your property. What do you think is going to resonate with your residents? How much interaction or, events do they want to see? It's got to be right for your property. So don't take everything that I'm saying today and say, oh, I've got to do everything. It's got to work for your property, your individual property needs. You might start out, before we get into all the wonderful ideas that are in this presentation that have been presented to us, you might think about doing a survey. Maybe you do, a resident survey, asking them what events they want to see virtually. Give them some choices, let them choose, 3 out of 5 or whatever, so that you get an idea of what your residents actually want and what might work for your property. So does anybody have any questions or comments before we start going into the fun part, which is the ideas? This is great, y'all. This is an outlet for you too. I mean, think about it. You're doing your job. You might be stuck at home, you might be stuck in the office, you might be the only one there, but how fun is it for you all to be able to have this release and this outlet and think of things that you can do for fun with your residents? So this is for you all as well. Okay, this screen right here are some fabulous ideas that have come to us, compliments of our very bright Missouri team. And you all might not get that, but bright Missouri team. Their regional is named Lindsay Bright. So that's just what I'm going to call it, the Bright Missouri team. They came up with all of these ideas and sent them to me, and now we're presenting them to you all, and I think they're great ideas. The first one is, why not have like a home competition? Let the residents sell their own home. They can do captions of their apartment or do a video tour of their space or whatever they want to show off to say, this is my home. I love it. This is the best. See what I did here. I turned this into a little nook. Whatever they want to do, they can take their own pictures or videos and then post it. You all can then repost their post on Instagram or Facebook, and then whoever has the most likes for that particular space or page wins the prize. And this is actually great because not only does it help you all do tours of the different apartments, you all have, you're selling your apartment just by letting the residents sell their own apartment and what they've done with it. And it also gives you content to post on Facebook or Instagram weekly. So that's just a fun little way to get your own apartment some airtime. The next one is a pie baking contest. Okay, so naturally this is all virtual, and you have to think in these terms of anything that you're thinking of doing right now. It's going to be virtual, where they're not going to be, all lining up in the community center and putting their pies on a table, but they are going to be baking their pies, and this is where imagery is going to come in. So they're going to be taking photos of their beautiful pies and post them. All the entries will be posted, and then your residents will vote for which pie, has the best look, image. Maybe it looks like it tastes the best. The picture's the most awesome, whatever the criteria is. But then they bake the pie, they post it, and your residents pick the winner. And the winner, you can receive like maybe it's an e-gift card. You could do, $5 off your rent. The prize can be whatever you want to create. So, and these are all food kind of oriented ideas and retention ideas on this screen here. But it's fun because when you're cooking or doing anything with food, that means you have to be in your kitchen and you're doing something. You're creating something. You might have your family with you. They're in the kitchen with you. And this creates a sense of community in itself within that one particular apartment home. And baking and cooking and being in the kitchen is therapeutic in its own right. So you're helping the residents do their own therapy, I think. There's also another idea, which is a weekly cook-off. You can do a weekly cook-off through social media. You have the residents sign up, and then you give them what their category is for that week. It could be a chili cook-off. It could be a chocolate cake cook-off. It could be dumpling. I mean, it can be whatever it is that you want to have a cook-off or a bake-off. And then they create their gourmet dish of the week and post it online. And then the followers can help judge. And then again, just like the pie contest, you would pick a winner, or the residents would pick a winner, and then they would get the prize. And you can use your imagination and come up with whatever you want for that bake-off. This is great because if you're doing the pies, and maybe you do these weekly, you do the pies, you do the bake-off or cook-off or whatever recipe or genre you want to do, you can also take certain items, almost like, I don't know if you all watch the Chopped Food Network or whatever, but they have these baskets and they have these certain items that they have to cook with. Well, you could kind of do the same thing and say, okay, this week you've got to create a dish using ramen noodles, or using, hot sauce, or using gummy bears, or whatever it may be. There's a few examples there, but come up with your own, come up with your own chop basket. And then they create their dish or their entree or whatever it may be and share their image and the recipe. And what's cool about this, I really love this idea. It gets me emotional. But think of all your residents creating these different dishes that they've come up with, their signature dishes. With their recipe, you can create a community cookbook. I mean, how awesome is that to have the Elora community cookbook presented by the residents themselves? I just think that's an awesome idea. It's a great keepsake during this time. And, food brings joy, and your residents will be participating in this, and it will be part of their contribution. So I love that idea. I think that's one of my favorite ideas. And plus, because I love food. Then the last one is to do a free pizza delivery. So maybe through social media, you say, okay, we're doing a drawing and 10 residents, we're going to get pizza delivered Friday night. And you just do it weekly, and then you can give away, maybe 10 pizzas a week to whoever, whatever you draw through Facebook. You can send it out. Entrada, you can send out a notice. So those are just some fun food ideas that you can do. And the pizza delivery also helps because it's giving back to the community and helping that business, stay afloat during this time. So, Tiffany, do we have any ideas or comments or things coming through?
No, nothing coming through. One thing about the pie, you could do cookies, or there's endless. Sorry, I can hear myself echoing. I don't know why it is, but there's endless possibilities. There's endless possibilities with that. So, these are just some ideas that we've come up with, and Lindsay Bright's team has come up with, but kind of make it your own. And like Allison said earlier, change it to your demographic, to your residents, and things like that. So these are just ideas, but they have such good endless possibilities.
Oh yeah, you could do a bean off. Ooh, beans would be good. Yeah.
I'm a sweet girl, so I'm thinking like cookies and cakes and
yeah, all of it. Thank you, Tiffany. Okay, so these are social media games. So we've done some of the food genres, and those are always good. These are just some games that you can do that they're easy to get out there and to implement, especially through Facebook. But one is freeze tag. This is also a Bright Missouri team idea that you have your residents comment on Instagram, by tagging, if you tag their friends or, coworkers, whoever they want. And then whenever the property says freeze, whoever was just there tagged then wins the prize or the gift. And that's just a fun little thing that you could do. That's easy. And then there's also a photo scavenger hunt contest that you could post something. It depends on how you want to do this. You could do this like just one day, and maybe you do it hourly for that day. You could do it over the week, and maybe you do it at noon every day, Monday through Friday. There's a new photo that they have to collect. So you would send out what it is that they need to collect, and then the first one to post that particular photo gets that point, and so on throughout the week until all of the photo scavengers have been hunted down and collected and posted. And these can be things that they would be able to find in their own apartment homes, maybe something in their vehicle. It could be something that they might see, if they're walking to their mailbox, or, maybe they might be at a store, but it's nothing that they would need to be in the company of other people to obtain. So think of things that everyone might have in their own apartment or in their car that they could, easily get a picture of. And that's something fun that you can stretch out across the week. So they're getting a little bit of connection each day. The next one is a candy jar guess. And if we think in Tiffany's terms, maybe you do, gummy bears or M&Ms or whatever it might be, any kind of sweet that would be colorful, because you're going to be taking a video, like a 360, degree view a video of the whole jar and then go live with it. And then whoever, guesses the closest number, and you could give it a deadline, by 5 o'clock today, put your entry in, tell us how many gummy bears are in the jar, and then they would win a gift card or, discount on their rent. And it doesn't have to be candy. It could be buttons, it could be pennies, it could be whatever you want to put in the jar. But that's also something very easy that you can do that is fun and quick. It doesn't require a lot of manpower to do. The other one, and some of our properties, I'm going to name one. I think Gladstone Forest has already done this. It was their idea, and they did or want to do Facebook bingo. Then you can do Facebook bingo. Maybe you have Friday night Facebook bingo, or Saturday or on the weekend or whatever. But you can do bingo through Facebook, and you can use these websites. Livestream Bingo is one, and then Let's Play Bingo.io is another venue that you can go to see how to set your bingo games up, and that's a lot of fun as well. Another one, and I actually stole this from the celebrities, because there's a group of celebrities that have been doing this, and they're doing a virtual story time, and they are reading story time books or children's books through Facebook Live or Instagram. You can pick different stories to read. Maybe you do it 3 times a week or twice a week, but have one of your staff read a book to the residents that want to join in during that story time, virtual story time. And I think this is super, because it allows the residents and the children that live at the property to connect with someone that they're used to seeing, and they know that that person is still there, that they're still involved in the community and their lives. And they would love to hear from the leasing consultant or the manager that can read them a story. So that's something easy to do as well, and it helps to incorporate the children in the community and to keep them involved as well and connected. Okay, speaking of children, if we keep going on that path, think about maybe you collect a whole bunch of coloring books. Go, if the dollar store's open, not sure they are, but if they serve food, they sell food, they might be. But you could get coloring books and crayons, or maybe crossword puzzle books, maybe comic books, whatever it may be, maybe a jigsaw puzzle, something that you could get inexpensively and package up, put in little bags, and then put them on the doors of the apartments. You don't need to have contact. You just put them in the bags and hang them on the doors, and then send either an email notice or put it on Facebook, check your doors, the property left you a surprise. And this can help them keep their family entertained. And then you've just given them that, and it just shows so much. It says that you're going that extra mile, that you want to do something to keep your residents happy and entertained. And think outside the box. It could be something else besides coloring books and crayons. Think of what you could deliver that might be fun for your residents. The other idea is to call local restaurants in your area, maybe restaurants that are right around you. Maybe you call a different restaurant each week, and so you use one restaurant weekly, and you ask them to offer a discount to your property, or maybe waive the delivery fee for anyone that orders takeout or delivery to that property. Here, I just used the example of the Allura. But this not only will help the local businesses and drive business to their restaurant, trying to keep them afloat, but then we're giving back to the community and we're helping our residents out at the same time. And you can post on Facebook which restaurant is going to be participating each week. And that's another easy thing that doesn't take a lot of manpower, but it's also it's connecting your property and the community together for a good purpose. This one is for pet-friendly properties, and my community actually did this, and it was awesome. I mean, we got a huge response, and mainly I came up with this idea because I was trying to get my dog's nails trimmed, and the vets are like closed to any service except for emergencies, so I couldn't get them done. but you could have a mobile pet groomer come to the property. And the dogs can be brought out, one at a time when they get notified, via Facebook or text or whatever it may be, that it was their turn. And then they come out and deliver the dog. And then the groomer will notify that resident when their dog is ready to be picked up. So nobody has to be in contact. Nobody's, congregating, and there's no line, and there's just the dog and the groomer. And that's something wonderful that the groomers would love to do, because they're going to be making money, and you're able to provide a service that they otherwise wouldn't be able to utilize during this time. So that's a good idea. It was a good idea at my community. It worked very well. Also, during this time of closing all of our community amenities and in our confinement, your residents do not have their fitness center available to them, which is something that they, have become accustomed to and that are used to using and going. And that in itself is a good outlet for people, but they don't have it available right now. But you can find YouTube videos of different classes, spin classes, yoga, Pilates, Zumba, whatever class you want or you think your residents would like, you could post that class on Facebook for people to engage in, all at the same time. You've seen that Peloton commercial where they're in different apartments, but their windows are open and they're looking at each other and they're on the same class. Okay, so picture that, kind of like that. Like you put this out there on your Facebook and people can do that class, live at that time. And your residents might have their windows open, they can look at each other, and it's a way to engage and get your residents involved without being near each other. There are several apps that are available to residents, such as Peloton, Beachbody. They're right now they might be waiving their subscription for the first month, or you might consider putting that out there and say, we might pay for your first month in substitute of, the fitness center not being available to you. But there are a lot of different free things that you could send out to your residents without having to offer that. One is the Core Power Yoga. If you see these listed right here, they are offering a complimentary online class while their studios are closed, and there's a link there so that you can you send that out to your residents so that they can take advantage of that complimentary class. There's also Bar 3. They're doing a 15-day trial, and there's the link for that one. You could send that out. And this is great for these companies as well, because they might end up getting long-term patrons. So it works both ways. And then Peloton is doing a 90-day trial for their app, and it includes other classes besides having to have that pricey bike. Another app that is free and that is great for the whole family to utilize is the 7-Minute Workout. It's just an app that you download, and that is a great thing that you can send out to your residents as well. So I hope you'll use these resources to send out to your residents. Maybe don't do it all at one time. Maybe you send one out a week so you can space it out. And I don't know if you can see this picture here. Oops. I want to zoom it. Okay, you see this picture here? This is compliments of our own Chloe Hansen. Yay! And she found these on Facebook. And I think this is adorable. If you can create these little cards like this, maybe, so we thought about earlier putting the cookbooks out, the coloring books out there and the games and all of that. But let's not forget about our furry friends and our furry residents. So these little cards are just so cute, and you can create your own, but just create something fun that says, hey, we haven't forgotten about, your fur baby, and do a little, biscuit in there, and you can put those on the doors. So that's fun as well too. All right, any questions, thoughts, ideas? I know this is a lot of information, and it's all being thrown at you, but you are going to get this presentation and a resource page so you can sift through this at your leisure and decide what is best for your community. but it is super important that we start doing some things online through social media, virtually, even in, in Entrada, send out notices, emails, flyers, fun things, fun facts, to keep our community engaged with our residents. So here's some more ideas. You can host an online book club. Let the residents vote on a book that might be read online or to listen to on a platform like Audible. You can create even a separate Facebook group to discuss the book, after they each day they read, online, then they can go to the Facebook group and talk about it. And you can keep this going even after this time period. This is something that can, a lot of these things can be something that is now something your community does all the time. And it's something that you can offer that is a good selling point for your community. You can do different age groups, different book choices. You have, children's one, you can have a murder mystery one, you can have all different genres. So the other thing is to check in with people. People like to feel important and a part of their community. So check in, just send little notices daily or weekly. Hey, how you doing? We want to keep you updated on current events and neighborhood information. Here's what's happening now. Did you know this? So just stay engaged with your residents. The other thing is you can do maybe a drawing maybe you give away a Fire TV. It's $24. You could do a drawing to give away that, because that can help people stay engaged, online with their streaming services. Maybe you give away a gift subscription to Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever that may be, but you could do a drawing for some streaming devices or subscriptions. And this is a great idea. This is from Tiffany, to project a big screen movie in the pool area or the common area and host a long distance movie night that people can either watch from their apartment windows or maybe their balcony or patio. And there's some websites there. letsgaze.com can organize that for you and host, your movie night. So you could do maybe it's a binge TV weekend and you do several movies, over the weekend. That could be fun. Also, there are online game centers, lots of different game centers where you can engage in online games like Scrabble. Your residents can play together online. You can play chess, any kind of reality game or puzzles or card games. You'll get creative and make up your own puzzles, maybe using your own, words that you want to send out to your community. And you can create your own games online. There are a couple of websites here for you to use as inspiration. airconsole.com and jackboxgames.com are two of them that you can use. You might do trivia. Maybe you do a trivia, you send out daily trivia to your residents, and that's easy to do. You can do it on Facebook. You can, teach new facts. You can have competition among your residents and their neighbors, and publishing a weekly scoreboard. But this would be a good opportunity to give, gift cards for winners. For all of these ideas, if you can incorporate some kind of prize or discount or incentive, you're going to have a much higher participation. So anytime you can do a contest that's going to yield a prize or a winner in some capacity, you're going to amp up your participation rate. The last one on this page is a music playlist. Maybe you create a playlist like Spotify is one that you can share with your residents. Music is always good. It helps motivate and energize, it even calm. So music is something that you can add to the list to increase your community participation. So I know these are a lot of ideas, and these are just some of them that we've come up with, but I really would love to get your ideas and your thoughts if you have any. Even if you don't do it today during this presentation, just send it to us so we can get it out to everybody, because every idea is a good idea, guys. And we really want participation and connection during this time with our residents. This page is about online learning websites that are designed specifically for children, especially in this time when their schools are closed. So there's the Age of Learning and Scholastic Magazine that are just two examples that have online programs that provide free home access. So you can use these resources to engage with the children of the community, or just to send out to the parents, so the parents have these resources that they can, use these resources to balance their work and their childcare during this time. That is the presentation. But I did want to show you, this is the resource page that is going to be sent out with your presentation. So you'll have this. The links are all here. These are all free resources, and you'll see the Scholastic at Home links and resources. And these are just some different websites for you to use that you can engage with your the children at the community, and to send out to all of the different residents. Okay, guys, well, that's the presentation. And I know it has tons of ideas in there, and I hope that you will engage in at least 5 of them. Let's make a target of doing 5 different resident activities over the course of the next 2 weeks. Does anybody have any comments? Tiffany, anything you want to add, share? Anybody?
Yeah, if you have any questions or get stuck, or you're getting, have any social media questions, just make sure you reach out to us. We want to be that resource for you to help you do these things successfully. So feel free to, make sure you reach out to Allison or myself and your R&D, so that, you can get these things done for your property.
Yep. All right, y'all. Well, happy connecting. Remember, this is a time that is difficult for all of us, and the more connection we can do, the better. And it's therapeutic for all of us. So just remember that. Happy connecting to your properties. Thank you all. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now.